One of the most beautiful things about tefillah in general is the way it brings a Jewish community together. We daven with a minyan, we daven in a Beit Knesset, literally a house of assembly. But even more, no matter where we are in this world, we will always find fellow Jews who recite Kriyat Shema in the morning and in the evening, who say Ashrei twice in the morning and one in Mincha, who recite Aleinu at the end of every tefillah. We will find our Jewish community everywhere because of tefillah, which makes it so very painful. When a tefillah is misunderstood by some and creates controversy by others, and nowhere is such controversy greater than in the Birchot HaShachar. In the third of three brachot, we recite to thank God for establishing aspects of our identity. In the first two, we thank God for the fact that we are neither non-Jews, shelo asani goy, nor slaves, shelo asani aved. But then comes the third bracha that men recite, shelo asani isha, blessing God who did not make me a woman. Why would we recite such a bracha? What do we mean by this bracha? Of course, the source of the bracha goes back to the Gemara Menachot and Daf Mem Gimel Amud Bet, where Rabbi Meir said that a person must recite three brachot every day, and one of those three is this, Shelo Asani Isham. But we have to look into the Tosefta and the Yerushalmi to understand why. Explains the Tosefta, the reason we say Shelo Asani Isha is because a woman is not obligated in as many mitzvot as a man, and therefore a man should be grateful for being obligated in these mitzvot, because each mitzvah provides a unique opportunity to serve God. And this bracha expresses our gratitude. And while it's true that some commentators, such as Rabbeinu Manoach, include social status in their discussion of this bracha, it's also true that the Tur and the Beit Yosef both emphasize the mitzvah obligation is the rationale behind it. Nevertheless, because of controversy that arose, Reb Chaim David Halevi Zatzal, the author of the Mekor Chaim in his 7th volume on the 76th page, explains that when a man makes the bracha of Shelo Asani Isha, should have in mind that a woman is just as important as he is. She is an equal, but she is not obligated in all mitzvot like men. And from here, he explains, we learn that these brachot are intended primarily in order to thank God for the obligation of Torah mitzvot. And Rav Henkin in his Bnei Banim in the 4th volume, the first tshuva, explains that we can't change the bracha because Chazal instituted it. And we can't change its language because Chazal did not change the language. And we shouldn't recite it quietly because that would only call greater attention. And so when we look at these three brachot, we thank God for the fact that we are not non-Jews. They don't have mitzvot beyond the 7. Nor are we avadim, slaves, because their mitzvot are very limited. Nor shelo asani isha, who did not make me a woman. Not that women are different or less, but their obligations to mitzvot are different. And we thank God for the opportunity to do every mitzvah possible.